from protesters around the country to the death of George Floyd. I sit down one-on-one with Tony Lewis, former Charleston County School District constituent school board member and a community activist, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Tony Lewis, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Good morning, Mr. Quintin. Long time. We've seen each other.
Right.
And you always are doing an awesome job. You're doing the job, or not job, but you're doing Yahweh's work.
Yes.
And you keep the great work up He has you doing, because He got a reward for you, because what you do, you let let the general public, the citizens, the constituents knows what's going on with the candidates, with the with the comments and the legislators, the lawmakers. I mean the whole 9 yards, the business folks.
Oh yes.
So it's a great thing to have somebody to do that in the society today.
I'm here to do that in the name of Jesus.
And just to add, you, like I said, you're doing an awesome job for Yahweh and His people, man.
Yeah.
You keep the great work and think about it. You don't cut nothing out like the local media does. They'll give you a big song bite of about 10 minutes or more, and then they chop it up to about 30 seconds. You don't do that. So I'm very thankful that you're and honored to be in your presence.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes,
I really do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here on behalf of God.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to bring you back on Quintin's Close-Ups because obviously I wanted to talk to you about George Floyd.
Yes, sir.
Obviously tensions are running high throughout the country and around the world, and even here in the Low Country.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk to you about what President Trump said recently, and he says this, and this is according to USA Today. President Donald Trump said last Friday, he spoke with the family of George Floyd and asserted that his relatives are entitled to justice in the case. What should justice look like in this case in your mind, Tony?
Well, justice should bring the folks to cause that harm and pain to society and to the world. Because if that officer were to think, that's not the way an officer conduct himself, by putting pressure on someone's neck and they're telling you they can't breathe and you continue on standing there and you're like as nonchalant with your hands in your pocket like you deliberately mean to do this. Then you have those other three officers watching out for you, but thank God for technology of instilling man that a lot of these things are coming to the forefront now.
And he also said this to the president, quote, "I understand the hurt. I understand the pain. People have really been through a lot. The family of George is entitled to justice, and the people of Minnesota are entitled to live in safety." How hurt are you right now after the death of George Floyd?
Well, I'm very hurt because that's one of us. That's a black man like I am. And not only that, other black, not only Brother George, the list goes on, man. I can show you my phone, the list goes on. That African American men, women, children are dying in the streets, more so than any other race. And all due respect to my Arab brothers, my Mexican brothers and sisters, my Chinese brothers and sisters, and the whole 9 yards, you don't get the same thing African Americans get. But let me tell you why that come about. Back in then, it was Willie Lynch who implement all kind of things, socialized, all kind of ideas toward and against African Americans. That's the reason why things are going the way they're going toward African Americans, because he said if you can keep them apart, you can defeat them, and which he did. He matched color against color, age against age, all kind of diversity things he put in, diverse things he put in there to keep us apart. You don't get no other race apart like the African Americans.
And the president also says this too: "I understand the pain." What pain do you have right now, Tony?
I have awful pain because that's a young man, that's another brother, look like me, gone. Because see, we got to always understand, when I was coming up, I always heard say, "Yo, you got 2 strikes on you," and I heard someone say, "Well, you a man and you black." I'm like, "What do you mean, 2 strikes?" And as I got older, I saw what the 2 strikes were, okay? Because I dealt with it myself directly with law enforcement in myself. And I've seen it direct and indirect, okay? But law enforcement got to understand, they're to preserve and protect, not show and do things inhumane to people, because they got to understand they got family members too. Okay, when they get killed in the streets or die on the line of duty, their families hurt. So how they need to reverse it and see how other folks' families feel when they kill them, and everything is unjustly. Because I've looked at it on social media,
right,
where a lot of no convictions, where a lot of young black men and women and kids die. It's so sad. It's always justify. How you justify killing someone? How you justify killing someone? And then you want to say it's this is and then you're always bringing up a criminal record against African Americans. I don't see you do that against African, no other race. I mean, white folks, you don't do that toward, because before Brother George got detained and killed, y'all caught the man who killed 2 people, but you handcuffed him, you didn't shoot him, and he was a criminal. But you killed his brother because he allegedly had a counterfeit $20 bill, and killed me because the brother stayed there and waited on y'all to come. You got to feel the pain of that young man's son, his kids, his sister, brother, and so on, all his friends and all. You got to feel their pain. All these pains. All these people got killed. They're crying out from their graves. They want justice. And until we delegate with the legislators and the lawmakers so they can police these police, the police got to be police, okay? Because that's why they're doing all kind of things. They figure they can talk to people all kind of way because they got a badge and a gun, and that's what a lot of them do. Go and be on law enforcement, and I know a lot of nice ones, I know a lot of good ones, and we're manable, respectful guys, and some of them are rotten to the core. And then they come and bring their racist things down in these police departments. They infiltrate the racism, all the Ku Klux Klans and stuff like that. All these hate groups that do their dirty thing. They carry their gun and their badge to cover all their dirtiness. It's so sad, very sad.
And you know, Jarrell Brantley, who used to play for the college Charleston,
yeah, I know Jarrell.
Said this on Twitter recently. He said this quote: "Charleston, South Carolina, where I was born as well as where I played my heart out for 4 years. An amazingly beautiful place I'm not ashamed to call home. However, I won't continue to ignore its racism." What's the racism here?
It's been in here a long time ago. When you hang people off of trees, burn them, kill them, and kill them in all kind of ways. It's been here. It's in all kind of systems. It's in the judicial system. It's in the educational system. It's in the banking system. It's in the housing system. It's in every system there is racism. There's racism. In every system there is racism.
And he also said this too: Charleston hides the racial hatred and inequalities we fight for today. What are those inequalities that people should be fighting for?
They should be fighting for the way law enforcement approach African Americans and deal with African Americans. They need to deal with situation with the judicial system, how one person get a bond and another one higher because of my race, white privileges. See, racism is not born, it's taught. It's taught. Just like you go and teach a kid how to say the ABCs, that's how racism is taught to someone. You know? That's how it is. And that's what I tell folks. You know, yeah, we can march together, and I just told some people that we can march together, we can sing together, we can do all that, but when all is over, or you will speak to me the next day you see me, or you will look over me. See? So again, you gotta, when they march with you, make sure sincerely it's from the heart. Some people doing things for opportunities, some doing things for a show, some doing things for trying to be on a collaborative level, that if something maybe happened and occurred, that African Americans one day get together, they don't want to be in the crossfire, as you say. Okay? And you got to think about that little baby who must be without a father. Because what? Racism. Like Omar Aubrey. Look at that brother jogging in the neighborhood. He gets shoot. Had to call this man nigger. Because he's jogging. I see plenty white folks jog by my house. I don't get out there and call them all and name and shoot at them or nothing like that. If I see them or I hear them, if they hear me, fine. So I said, a dog is better than African American. Most African American citizen, most so-called person, because we're not citizens. We're not citizens. They got to go back and look at what's on the books. We're not citizens.
And Tony, as we sit here right now, where should the conversation go next?
Conversation needs to go straight to the federal government, right on down to the local, to the state government, and they have to dictate to these law enforcement. And I want to thank Representative Wendell Gilliard from giving a vision, an idea from God to come up with body cameras. Because when he came up with the body cameras, that's kind of detailed a little bit, but they have to put stricter rules in with these law enforcement, these officers, man. You know, because I can show you a picture in my phone from a little boy last week. And it was called to me, and the mother was not home. The mother was working. The mother was very livid. You know, she couldn't do nothing for her son. And I just want you guys to see these are the kind of things will go on, and nobody say nothing about it. Here, and I sent it to all the Chief Reynolds. I haven't got a response back from him. I haven't got a response back from Mayor Technobird. See, look at that. That's how a young man was beat up back of the green by law enforcement. Okay? Why, in the midst of this crap going on out here, why would you abuse and hurt a young man like this? You wouldn't do it to a white boy. And I'll be blunt. You wouldn't do it to none of them white kids. But you'll do it to, and I've seen white kids been in all kind of precarious situations all on King Street. I send that to Chief Reynolds, Mayor Technobird, Senator Kempson, Representative Gilliard, Cordell Campbell, Councilman Mitchell, Councilman Dudley Gregory, and Councilman Henry Darby. I sent it to every one of them, but I haven't got a response back from them. I think I got a response back from only Mitchell because I called him. But when I see the rest of them, well, no, let me retract that, because Senator Kempson said he's trying to work on, he's working hard and heavy to rather implement a law about what's going on with these law enforcement. Because see, they're talking about racism among the citizens. No, they've got racism among the officers toward African American citizens.
And I want to say that Senator Tim Scott is actually be introducing the Walter Scott Notification Act, and he said this quote: "The fact is, without proper data in regards to officer-related shootings, we cannot find lasting solutions in this area. What solution should we be finding now?"
We need to find that solution. We need to do thorough background checks. Matter of fact, these officers should be coming up in front of the citizens of Charleston, or the Low Country, who they're coming to work for, and who they're coming to so-called serve and protect. The citizens should know what kind of officers coming. That's like I told someone. I said, before folks move in your neighborhood, you need to know about them. So that's how we need to know about officers before they be hired and put in our neighborhoods and our communities.
Tony E. Lewis, thank you so much for your time, and again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Ms. Quintin Washington, it was a pleasure and always an honor being in your presence. And this, like I said, I love and respect you, my friend, because you're doing an awesome job. And you're doing the work Yahweh put you out here to do, my friend. You understand? So again, as I said to you and the rest of people, you have to have more dialogue, more engagement with law enforcement and the citizens, mainly the African American citizens. And that's how you resolve situations. Thank you.